Okay, so I'm gonna try not to cry through this with you guys, but we are closing the library and Cannon tomorrow. Both are gonna be closed. No, we have no beds for the 110 guests that we have here.
The city's contract with Jules Helping Hands to operate the Cannon Street Warming Center had always been scheduled to end at midnight on Thursday, April 30th. Because of the governor's statewide coronavirus stay-at-home order, expectations were that the contract would be temporarily extended. But on Wednesday, April the 29th, the City of Spokane informed Jules Helping Hands that their contract would not be extended and that the city planned to close the shelter for renovations. The 110 residents would be displaced with nowhere to go. After all, it was the shelter nobody wanted, and allowing it to end with the expiration of the contract seemed like a simple solution. We were present that evening when Julie announced the shelter closing to the staff and residents.
I want to tell you what you guys have managed to do for the last 6 months. For 6 months, the people that the city said couldn't do anything ran 2 shelters. You guys kicked ass, you made it happen, and you worked hard. We didn't have any more problems than any other shelters had. We had no major incidents, and nobody died in our 6 months. With that being said, you guys have done amazing things, more than I could have ever imagined. You guys have stayed sober. You guys have stayed consistent. You guys have built relationships. And these guys love, depend, and count on all of you.
Thursday morning, in the absence of any communication or plan from the city, Jules Helping Hands arranged individual tents for all the residents who had nowhere else to go. An tent encampment began to form in nearby Coeur d'Alene Park. Behind the scenes and out of sight of news cameras, homeless advocates were at work trying to make a difference and to save 110 shelter beds.
At that point, the city had not communicated with the operators of the warming center. They hadn't communicated with the people staying at the warming center or anybody in the community about any plans.
I was contacted by an attorney from Olympia who said that warming center was a facility that was covered under the governor's proclamation and that they would be looking into it. And we are thankful that we have a governor that thought of people who are experiencing homelessness and knew that they are just as vulnerable, if not more, from this deadly virus that's spreading amongst us in our state, that everybody needed to be protected.
So on point, over the last 3 years, what we've seen is unpreparedness by the city. They close warming centers, they don't open them on time. It's all just a lack of preparation and a lack of feeling that these people are important. And Jules Helping Hands and operating Cannon Street showed there's a better way to do it. That's why, in particular, they should be one of the operators of warming centers in our community. People deserve respect and human dignity.
At 1 p.m. on Thursday, the city contacted another nonprofit and announced hastily made plans for the shelter to remain open, but under a different operator. Residents were allowed to return to the Cannon Street Center Thursday night, which is where we caught up with Julie Garcia to get her thoughts on the day's twists and turns.
I'm tired, Maurice. Fighting with the city should not happen during city contracts. All that needed to be done was an email explaining this is what happens, here's the times you need to leave, here's when you can get your things. No, people can't be at this address. We addressed this with the city last night. We asked specifically, where do we take 110 people, or where do we tell them to go? And they told us they did not have a plan yet. What are we supposed to do at that point? Just sit here and hope that they have somewhere to sleep tonight? We have to act, so we purchased tents. The city said that we are in violation of our contract because we didn't stay and keep everybody here till 11:59 and then kick them out. All we do is serve homeless people where they're at. We don't ask for anything more than that. Give us the space to serve people that need us. And these guys need us. When you're standing in front of 60 police and people are yelling, We want to go home with Jules. It breaks my heart to hear that because I know that tomorrow I'm not going to be there for them. I will always be out on the street with them. 7 nights a week I will wander around and feed them. But people don't understand when you build connections, this is their family and this is their home. They live at 527 South Cannon and this is where they belong right now. It's where they feel safe. It's where they have support. We're here to make sure that no matter who you are, no matter your circumstance, no matter your situation, I can agree with you or I don't have to agree with you. But I'm gonna welcome you in, I'm gonna give you a bed, and you're gonna be safe tonight. And that's all I care about.